How you doing, everybody? My name is Octavius Levon Blount. I'm the coordinator for the Mayor's Office of Black Male Engagement, and we're here with another Spotlight series where we spotlight black men that are doing great work in this city. And we have Donavan West here today as our guest. He's going to talk a little bit about what he does, how does he impact the community, black men and boys, and also what 3 pieces of advice he can offer young black men like myself to navigate this world that we live in today. So, Donavan, how are you feeling today?
I feel absolutely great.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, man? How are you feeling?
I'm blessed.
Good.
I'm alive.
Amen.
I'm healthy.
Right?
And I got 2 women that love me. So
Amen.
that's all.
That's what I'm
all I
talking.
need.
One of them is your mom, right?
Yep.
All right, we good. We good. All right.
If you can, I know you have 2 hats that you wear in this city.
Only?
If you,
I'm just joking.
It's a lot of hats that you wear,
Right,
but
yeah.
I know of 2.
Mm-hmm.
And once you take those off, and people look at you and say, "That's Mr. Donavan,"
Mm-hmm.
what would they say about you?
I'm dedicated. You know,
Mm-hmm.
just someone that's just dedicated to the cause. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Dedicated to the mission.
Yeah.
Someone that without the cameras flashing and
Mm-hmm.
videos going, just still at it, still doing
Mm-hmm.
what I do, period. In the dark, in the light, it doesn't matter. Just
Mm-hmm.
someone that's consistent. So I think that's what they would say about me. Someone that is just really passionate, regardless of the time or
Mm-hmm.
the season, if you will.
Yeah. Okay. I would also add that you're a man of purpose.
Absolutely.
You start things that you finish. And you also want a seat at the table, and you make sure you have a seat at the table.
Oh, yeah, you see these elbows, right?
Yeah, I know you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to make a space for myself because I think that there's too much conversation.
Yeah.
But not enough demonstration.
Mm-hmm.
And when you demonstrate, you really get into the space of showing people, what does that look like?
Mm-hmm.
What does your passion or your purpose actually look like?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of conceptualizing, because those of us who may go to a certain school or, you're in a certain circle, we start pontificating about what we would do.
Mm-hmm.
But why don't we just move on to what we're going to do and what we're doing? And so I take a lot of, pride in doing and rolling up my sleeves, being willing to do that and not just talk about or create some kind of blueprint, but start the process of executing.
Okay. Now, putting those hats on that you have, the 2 that I know of, you can explain all of that. What do you do? If people ask you, they see you in this suit, they say, "So, what's your name?" "Oh, I'm Donavan West." What do you do? So, I'm asking you, what do you do?
I serve people. I change lives. I'm part of the solution. That's what I do. My goal is to really make sure that the narrative moves from being a narrative to some action. And what I do is I help to be a part of the solution in any way, shape, or form that I can, leveraging my gifts, my talents, and then most importantly, my network. Yeah. To be of impact. And so. Any individual, regardless of your status, you have a similar calling, and I'm just responding to my calling.
Okay, so I know you're the CEO of Congruent Solutions. If you can explain what that entails,
Absolutely,
that'd be great.
So, Culturally Congruent Solutions is a boutique firm that basically focus on. You could say workforce development, executive coaching, communication coaching, development, counseling in many ways, right?
Okay.
Getting into the minds and the hearts of your workforce to find where the synergy really exists. And it can come in different, formats, such as you could talk about a lunch and learn. You could talk about a retreat. You could talk about, your standard meetings and presentations, or you could just talk about the one-on-one coaching. In all those different formats, you have an opportunity to impact a certain workforce by way of finding different perspectives of how they can achieve their overarching goals. Most of those goals really are around, performance mainly, right? Yeah. And then, of course, teams building on the services that they already provide by adding additional services, but first taking some inventory of what their gifts and talents are so that they can do it on a sound foundation. So Culturally Congruent Solutions provides that type of assistance, that kind of perspective, and then many times that shot in the arm that the company may need or the CEO so that they can continue to be, prosperous.
Okay. Now, I know we've crossed paths multiple times.
Yeah.
I consider you a big brother to me.
Thank you, man.
And also, we're also 100 Black Men Brothers as well.
Absolutely.
If you can talk a little bit about 100, not the full aspect of it, but your role at
Absolutely.
100.
Absolutely. So I'm a team member in 100 Black Men, and what that means is that I'm on those conference calls
Yeah.
every other Saturday,
Yeah.
but I'm also in person every other Saturday at 8 a.m. To provide support and to leverage my network so that we can move the needle forward.
Yeah.
And the way that that looks is part of it is just participating in terms of adding some additional perspectives. The other part is saying, okay, what can I actually physically do?
Okay.
And then the third piece would be, okay, who's in my network that can also fill in these other gaps, if you will. On every other Saturday, especially this Saturday coming up, right?
Yeah.
We have our leadership pathway to success forum that we do in addition to our in-person board meetings. And at these board meetings, we're just looking at different ways that we can strategize to get things going in different areas of the city. It's not enough to just say, okay, this is who we are, this is where we're at, and everyone come to us, but how else can we impact the city in terms of being in schools, setting up additional sites so that we can be conveniently located for other people that may have a hardship when it comes to transportation and other barriers. In addition to that, we talk about leadership, we talk about Black history, and we actually facilitate it by way of providing curriculum and the kind of environment where the youth can actually enjoy the information, not just learn it, but enjoy it. And the way that they enjoy it is through our energy, the way we present it, and how we're passionate about it. So as opposed to, in a normal environment where you have certain teachers who may not be as passionate about what they're teaching, every member of 100 Black Men, they are all there voluntarily. Nobody's being paid for it. This is just a mission, a calling, a passion, a purpose that they feel that they have. And so these young men and young ladies, they are the recipients of that great energy.
Okay. As far as your trajectory as a Black man, very positive. And also providing wisdom to young men. I know that you do that on a daily basis through social media, in person. You've done that with me, which is very helpful. It has also helped me internally, ask myself some questions, which is helpful as well. So I thank you for that.
You're very well.
So with the wisdom that you provide these Black men, what 3 pieces of advice can you give now that'll help young Black men survive and navigate this world that we live in today?
Okay, well, the first piece I would say is to take inventory, to know who you are, what you have inside of you, and also take inventory of some of your past accomplishments, as well as your failures. I mean, from your failures, you can learn a great deal. So take inventory. It's important that you do that. The second thing that I would say is that to really pray on, and I really mean it, pray on, meditate on discernment. Discern between, the things that you want and the things that you need, the things that you would like to achieve and the things you really need to achieve. Do your best to identify what your real purpose is. And in many instances, you may find out that what your real purpose is may not be in alignment with what's famous, what you may, like to see on, social media or whatever. But the beautiful part about it is when you are in your purpose, there's a certain kind of joy that you'll be filled with that no one else can actually, provide it, and it can't be replaced. So to really, pray for discernment, I think that's very key. And the third thing is to plan. When you plan, you're able to now have more patience. You're able to actually demonstrate your belief system. You're able to actually focus in a way that, when it comes time to persevere, you're not persevering just based off of something that's vague. You're persevering because you know what the plan is. And through that plan and that belief system, you're able to have faith in the process and take enjoyment in the fact that, this part I also anticipated because I planned for this, right? So through proper planning, you're able to actually perform in higher levels. You're also able to execute and make some adjustments if you need to when you're in a certain place and space. Because why? You took inventory, right? And so as you're taking inventory regularly, you can also monitor what's going on with yourself and how things are progressing or how you might be sliding back a little bit. And that is going to keep you relevant. That's going to keep you in a space where you're always, I would say, evolving if you're committed to that. I know you said 3, but But the fourth thing,
That's fine.
I have to
That's
add
fine.
the fourth thing, and that is educate yourself. You got to feed your mind.
Mhm.
You have to do your homework. In addition to do your homework, read something new, listen to something positive on a regular basis. You got to feed your mind, feed your spirit regularly, because
Mhm.
this journey that you're taking, this journey that you may
Yeah.
start to take, it's going to be a lonely one. Not everyone is
Mhm.
going to see what you see. That's why it's called your vision, not
Yeah.
theirs, right?
Yeah. I like that last part.
Thank you.
I think I needed to hear that.
Okay.
So I thank you for that, and I say everything happens for a reason.
Amen.
So what you just said, I'm gonna internally take that in, and do inventory on myself, inventory on my circle, inventory on
Absolutely.
the people that support me,
You get it.
and also inventory of the black men that I know in this city that
Right.
that I can tap onto and ask questions about how they led their lives. So I want to thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
in and actually providing an extra piece of advice, because a lot of young men don't get that extra piece. They don't get that extra push
Right.
that they need. They just get that quick gratification and say, just go play basketball, just go play football.
Right.
But that's not what it's about.
No,
It's
there's so
about
many
you giving
more moving
words.
parts.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
I also like I said, I want to say thank you,
Thank you, man, for having me. I appreciate it.
and thank you for being the man that you are. And just keep moving forward. I
Yes,
know
sir.
I'm younger than you, and how I just said that may sound like I'm taller and older, but
No,
I say
no.
keep moving forward, because that's
Age
what I
has
like you
nothing to
doing.
do with it. And and while I have this moment, I just want to say cheers to you, man.
Mhm.
I salute you for what you're doing, the focus, your determination. I've
Mhm.
seen you over the years, and I'm extremely, extremely proud. You make my spirit happy, man, because at the end of the day, when I see young men like yourself doing what you're doing,
Mhm.
you know, it to me gives me hope. It inspires me to even do greater things. And anytime you need me, any information, even if you just need an ear,
Mhm.
I'm there.
Thank
Say no
you.
more. All right?
Thank you.
All right.
I want to say thank you to Donavan for coming in today. And also, you can check us out at our next Spotlight series. We're on Facebook and Instagram at OBME PHL. Have a blessed day.